Good morning and welcome to This Week with Pastor Dino. I'm Dino and I'm so glad to have you joining us here at First Presbyterian Church of Bradenton, where we are cultivating hearts for Jesus from the heart of downtown. I was out last week. I'm sorry I was not able to do the show. I was out sick. I had shingles. It is not fun, I'll tell you that, but I'm back and was so pleased to be back here yesterday in worship and to be with you all today. Our devotional comes to us from Isaiah 55. As the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. That again is from Isaiah 55 verses 10 and 11. We talked on Sunday about hope and this idea that no matter what we're going through, God is our hope. Christ is our hope. And we remember that God accomplishes what he's going to accomplish. We have to keep our hope there. We get knocked around by the things that happen in this world. Again, shingles, COVID the last couple of years. Again, maybe you've got other things going on that are even more serious than that kind of plague your life, but we maintain hope as Christians beyond what we see that's right in front of us. We maintain hope for a brighter future, and we remember that the Lord and what he intends to have happen does not return empty. It buds and flourishes. That's what his word does in our lives. We put our hope there. So this week, I just want you to be thinking about whatever might be going on in your life. Give it over to God, and remember that there's hope for another day. Thanks be to God. This week, the church office is open Monday through Friday, and we are glad to be here to serve you. If you need anything, shoot us an email. Also, we are going through Blessed Church as a sermon series that is going to carry us into Advent, which is just about to start here at the end of the month after Thanksgiving. But we're going to wrap up Blessed Church this coming Sunday. Hope you've enjoyed that series as we look at doing what the kingdom calls us to do. Stewardship is also wrapping up here. We're going to have a congregational meeting on the 12th, and we're trying to get our budget set for that meeting. So if you could get your pledges in before Thanksgiving, that would be awesome. We'd really appreciate it. Speaking of December 12th, that is also the evening of our annual Christmas concert. That's going to be right here, so mark your calendars, and we'll keep getting more information out to you about that. Now, because I wasn't here last week, I wasn't able to get somebody from our finance ministry team to give a stewardship message, but today I've got Jeff King here from the finance ministry team. Let's see what Jeff has to say. Well, I am honored to have Jeff King here in the studio. Jeff is a longtime church member, if we kind of count the whole history of you being here, Jeff, and works with the finance ministry team. Sharp guy when it comes to church finances, and we're glad to have you back, have you here. Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
And now we're in the middle of stewardship season. Of course, we wrapped the kind of sermon piece up, but we're still going on. I mean, this is going to keep on. Stewardship is not a season, right?
That's right. It's all year long.
It's all year long, and we forget that, but we're trying to get that kind of into the rhetoric these days. But you've been on the finance team for the last year. I know. Thank you for doing the big church audit and making sure we had all our kind of ducks in a row. What are you seeing from your vantage point about church finances?
Well, we're kind of at a crossroads here, or a very critical time, I would say. Coming out of a couple of years of COVID and not being able to meet in person has had its effect. We are blessed. We have come through that period of time and are still whole financially. However, we want to grow the church, and to grow the church requires more financing.
Of course, it is. It's, unfortunately, we'd love to sprinkle the magic pastor dust on everything and, it automatically grows. But the truth is we run off of resources like any other organization does. And so we've heard from Rob Moran, we've heard from Kay Butler, we've heard about 100% commitment. Are you seeing that start to materialize in the stewardship campaign?
Yes, we are. We get a report each week from the financial administrator here at the church, and she tells us how many pledges came in what the dollar amount was. And actually, people are stepping up this year. The pledges are increased from last year, and we've had a number of new folks pledging. So we're very encouraged at this point.
For folks who are on the fence about, should I pledge or not? I'm not sure what I can do right now. What would your advice be to them?
Well, I think we all know that we're supposed to tithe, and that's a commitment between you and God. But if you can give us an idea of what you're going to give next year through your pledge, it really helps us plan ahead and set up the mission of the church, do the things that we need to do to, like I said, grow it, to bring people to Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. So the pledges are still coming in. They're trickling in. We're coming up on Thanksgiving here. I keep telling the church, I know what happens during the holidays. You start getting Christmas cards, you start setting up the house, you start making plans, traveling. I'm encouraging folks, get those in before Thanksgiving, right?
Absolutely. We really would like to have them in before Thanksgiving.
And that'll get us the opportunity to have our session meeting, to have our finance meetings, get everything kind of set based on what we're expecting. And this year, we have a congregational meeting in December. So we moved everything back, which means we're asking for those pledges to come in. But again, this congregation has been awesome, been faithful. I mean, your history goes back here, 25, 30 years, right?
1980.
That's the year I was born, Jeff. So I could tell you, your history goes back here 41 years.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've seen the ebbs and flows.
Yes, I have.
But I'm sure you've also seen the faithfulness of God shown in this congregation.
Absolutely. God has always been faithful to this congregation, and the congregation has shown that faithfulness. We were able to. That's the reason we got through COVID. Really, was because we had some reserves that we were able to use. We're very fortunate here at this church at First Presbyterian, right here in Bradenton.
Jeff, any final message for the congregation as we kind of edge into the new year?
I just encourage you to do your pledge, to pray for it, and help the leadership of this church make plans going forward.
Awesome. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for being here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for all of your contributions to our church. God is with us, and God has given us so much. It's positioning out to be an awesome year, and I'm really excited about what the Lord is doing. This week, in terms of online offerings, we've got breakfast and Bible study on Saturday morning. That is held over Zoom at 10 o'clock, and you can join that class. Go to bradenton.church/Zoom to find out how to join. We've got worship at 9 and 11 on Sunday, and we'll be streaming that as well as doing worship live. We are no longer requiring masks, of course. You can still wear them. We had folks wearing them on Sunday, which was totally fine. And hopefully we're going to keep moving past this COVID stuff, flu season. I know all that's going on, but we're going to keep pressing on with hope. Again, that's what it's about. It's a distinctive of our faith that we are a people of hope. We don't give in to the brokenness of this world. We don't stay in the tomb, as it were. We celebrate life and light and the resurrection and all these awesome things that we have to look forward to in each of our lives. They're things that might be broken. We lean into God's hope for that too. So let's be people of hope, ambassadors of hope, people who live into hope. And thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time on This Week with Pastor Dino. Bye-bye.